Good morning all. Myself Nisreen Hameed, technical leader from Livewire Kanhangad. I'm handling the sessions like Python, Java, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and so on. So welcome to today's sessions. Career in Python programming language. If you are a Python practitioner or if you know some Python or if you are familiar with the Python programming language and you are wondering what are the career fields that you can choose from them, this is the session for you. In this session, we will take a look at the career option that you as a Python programmer have, and those career options might be and what are the skill sets that you might need in order to pursue those career options. So without any delay, let's get started. So let's take a look at the agenda for the session. I will begin by taking a look at why Python programming language is popular. From there on, we will start discussing each topic one by one. Then we will take a look at what is Python programming language, applications of Python programming language, like which and all fields you are using the Python programming language, such as web developer, game developer, data scientist, and so on. So for each of these sessions, we will take a look at the introduction part, what skills there that you need the tools, some of the tools that you might need to know in order to become a professional in those fields. And then later on, we will take a look at the average salary of these jobs so that you get a good feel of what these career options could yield to you once you are done pursuing them. Then we will take a look at companies and industries with the highest number of Python job offers and also job roles for each unique Python programming language and what are all needed skills for a Python job, locations with the highest number of Python job openings. And at the last, we will take a look at the experience and education for a Python job. So let's get started. So moving on to the first agenda of today's session, that is why Python programming language is used. So programming is the future of the world and Python is leading the race. With every passing year, its popularity is growing exponentially. So if you are someone who is interested in data science, web development or machine learning, then Python is literally your best choice. Although it is not a newly developed language yet, lately it is favored by most developers over Java, C#, and PHP due to its simplicity and easy to learn nature. Python is the most loved programming language, so this is why Python is the preferred language by most of the industries nowadays. So that's what about why Python programming language is used. And let me give you one example that why it is called as a simple programming language or easy to learn. Because we know that Hello World is a basic programming language where we have to start every programming language in. So we know that to print a single Hello World program, in the case of other programming language, we need at least 3 or 4 lines of code to run. But in the case of Python, we need only a single line of code to print an Hello World program. So this is the main reason why we are using Python programming language in most of the industries. So the lines of code is fewer in the case of Python while compared to other programming language. So move on to the next agenda of today's session, that is what is Python programming language. So Python is a general purpose programming language which is designed by Guido van Rossum in 1989. So what do you mean by general purpose? Because Python is used everywhere, like every field. If you want to develop a web, software, or data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, game. So wherever you are using, there all Python will be there. Okay. So everywhere the Python programming language is used. That is why it is known as general purpose high level programming language. So I hope you have understand about why Python programming language and what is Python programming language is. So move on to the next agenda of today's session, that is applications of Python. So I will be discussing which and all fields the Python programming language is used. So let's take a look at the first field, that is web development field. So we will understand what is involved in creating web applications. In case you are wondering how you can get the skills that I'm describing, how you can learn to use these tools in order to your career in Python. So let me give you a background knowledge about it. So one area where Python shines is web development. Python offers many frameworks from which to choose from, including Bottle.py, Flask, CherryPy, Pyramid, Django, and Web2Py. So these frameworks have been used to power some of the world's most popular sites such as Spotify, Mozilla, Reddit, and so on. So talking about the tools, these are the main topmost tools which is used by the industries nowadays. So among these frameworks, Django and Flask are the top Python frameworks so far. But even though Flask is also used, but majority of the people would go with Django. So talking about the average salary, so entry-level web developer earns around rupees 2,32,074 rupees, okay, per annum. So when it goes to mid-level, the average web developer salary is from 5,89,443 to 7,25,000 lakhs per annum. Okay, 7,25,000 per annum. So according to your skills and your experience, your salary packages will be increased. So we can't say it is fixed or exact amount. So these are the indicative. So these are not exact. So you need to take that into considerations. So move on to the next agenda of today's session, that is game developer. Okay, so we know that everyone is crazy about game, right? So creating your own computer games in Python is a great way to learn the language. A game developer uses Python to build games which can be played on a variety of platforms such as computers, mobiles, and so on. On to next, that is game developer tools. There are so many Python libraries for developing games. Pygame is one of them. It is developer friendly and easy for building games. Python is an easy language to start with, so building games in Python is not a hard thing to do either. So Pygame is the top first among other Python library for building games. So there are so many other tools to build the game by using the Python programming language, but most of them are using the Pygame. And move on to next, that is average salary for a game developer in India is rupees 7,75,000 per year. So entry level positions start at rupees 5 lakh per year, while most experienced worker make up to rupees 17 lakh 20,000 per year. So we can't see the exact. So I already told you this just an indication. So we have to take this into consideration. So according to your skills and your experience you are having, according to that, your salary will be increased. So we can see it's just an approximate value. It is not an exact value. So that's all about game development. Moving on to next, that is data science. So here the data science and machine learning are closely related. So I have taken them together into single field. So to put it simply, the science of manipulating data and analyzing it using statistical concept is known as data science. So we know that what is actually the data science is. The data science is just an analysis of data for future predictions. So data manipulation can be effectively done using two wonderful and powerful libraries offered by Python, that is NumPy and Pandas. Since data science is an upcoming field, the demand for skilled Python developers is at an all-time high, even more than software developers. So companies gather data extensively to analyze their customer base and to understand current market trends. So due to this, the demand for qualified data scientists is even growing, and hence the companies are ready to offer excellent pay to Python developers who fit the bill. Moving on to next, that is data science tools. I already told you that these three are the topmost Python library tools for analyzing the data. So Pandas as NumPy is mostly used for analyzing the data. So these are all about the tools and what is data science. And moving on to the next, that is average salary. So in India, the average entry-level data scientist income is rupees 5,11,468 per annum for recent graduate. So a data scientist in their early career with 1 to 4 years of experience earns an average of rupees 7,73,442 per year. So according to your skill and your experience, your salary will be increased. So approximately it is showing us 9,75,000 per annum. So according to your year of experience and your skill set, it will goes on increasing. We can't say the exact value. We can just only estimate or approximate value will be this much. Okay. So that's all about the average salary. And move on to next, that is how Netflix is using data science. So this is the data which is collected by Netflix. So you can see that the watching type, year analysis, watching our years, watching our weeks, watching our months, and also there are different data they are collecting. So here you can see that the type of videos I'm watching, episodes and movies. So you can see the how many counts are there, 1,321, 655. These are the movies I have watched till now, and also these are the episodes I have watched. And total this much videos have been been watched. So there are so many data the Netflix is collecting, and according to this data, they are recommending the videos or the web series, right? So because why they are recommending, because they have to analyze the each customer's interest. So according to that, Netflix is recommending. Okay. So we are wondering, right? While you are watching the, like if you are interested in watching comedy, thriller, action movies and all, and you already watched. So, and again, if you are looking or entering to the Netflix, so you can see that the every videos or the movies which will be related to your taste, and you will be wondering, oh, Netflix is also know about how which and all type of videos or movies you are used to watch. So you will be wondering, right? But exactly what it is, how it is actually happening, because here they are using the data science and machine learning concept by using the programming language that is Python. So according to that, they are recommending the movies. Okay. So recommendations is done by machine learning and the analysis part is done by data science. Okay. So this is how it is doing here. So the same thing happens for YouTube also, right? So this what actually it is happening. They are collecting the data and they are recommending according to your taste by analyzing your data according to your watch history. Okay, this is all about the Netflix. Moving on to next, here you can see that what language would you recommend new data scientists learn first? So everyone who is data scientist has an opinions on what language you should learn first. So it is people who use Python or R feel like they made the right choice. But if you ask people that you use both R and Python, they are twice as likely to recommend the Python programming language. So even you can see from the picture that every user who know both R and Python programming language would mostly recommending the Python programming language. Okay. Then it is recommending the R. Then it comes to R. Then it comes to another programming language. Okay. So that's all about the data science. So moving on to next agenda of today's session, that is companies and industry. Okay. Next, we will take a look at the companies and industry with the highest number of Python job offers, and also job roles which you need a Python programming language, and also what you need, you need the skills for a Python job. And also I will show you the locations with the highest number of Python job openings. And also last, I will show discussing about the experience and education specialization for a Python job. So starting with companies, according to the data, Apple and IBM are leading the pack with the highest number of job offers, followed by other large companies in industries like Amazon and Facebook, which also make their mark with a good portion of Python job openings. When it comes to company size, it's obvious that most of the offers are posted by companies with more than 10,000 employees, which proves that big firms are actively recruiting candidates with Python. So also there is a reasonable number of offers from medium and small scale companies as well. So, and that's definitely good news for job seekers. Okay, not only the big firms are offering recruiting the Python programmer, but also there is small scale and as well as mid-level companies who are recruiting the candidates, right? So it's just a good news for you all people, right, who are searching for a job. So there are many companies, not only these companies. So these are some of the highest topmost companies. So everyone most of the companies are recruiting the Python programmer. So that's all about the companies. Moving on to the next agenda of today's session, that is industry. So our research shows that most of the offers are concentrated in the information technology industry, that is IT field. And these are considerable offers coming from the financial services and education industries as well. So you can see that there are many field that is offering the Python programmer who have the skill in Python programming language. So IT is the topmost industry who are offering the Python programmer. And also next is about the financial service, next is education, next is about retail and wholesale, and next is about consulting and business services. So there are many other field, healthcare field is there, biotechnology, human resource and staffing. So there are many other field or industry who are offering the Python programmer. And now moving on to the next agenda of today's session, that is roles, that is what and all job roles you are getting or offering by the companies. So what are the most in-demand roles related to Python programming language? The highest number of Python job posting is for the software engineer role, and people with this job title specialize in one programming language. Python, Java, and JavaScript are a few very popular options. The second type of role with the most job adding with Python is the one of the data scientists. So as you can see from the picture, so Python is one of the programming language in the data science world. So a good number of jobs are posted for research roles in various fields. A decent number of openings are also posted for roles like data analyst, tester, quantitative engineer, machine learning engineer, full stack developer, data engineer, and so on. Okay. So these are all about the job roles. So moving on to the next agenda of today's session, that is the location. So from the picture, you can see some of the locations in India and as well as USA where the Python job is available. So not only this, there are so many other companies and so many other locations where the people are recruiting the Python programmer. So here you can see some of them. They're like Bangalore, New Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, and all. So that's all about the location. So it's just an sample location I have listed here. So and also about their average salary on that particular locations and all. It's just an average or approximate salary. It's not an exact. So it will be changing, as I told you, that according to your skills and experience level you are having. And that's all about the location. And moving on to the next agenda of today's session, that is education. Education is time to learn what education and skills you need to impress employers and land a Python job. A bachelor's degree would enough for half of the cases. Okay, so 50% is okay for bachelor's, right? So, but the other half of the job offerings require a master's and PhD diploma. So it depends on the company, they are like their requirement. So whether you need master's or PhD. So as far as specialization is concerned, so you can see that about what and all specialization you need. So unsurprisingly, computer sciences has been mentioned as the most in-demand educational background in the majority of openings. Obviously, it is an IT firm, right? So the computer science is always they are having in demand everywhere. So we can't say that for a Python programmer, you need a must, that is computer science is a must. But even though who are choosing the same IT field, like computer or IT, so they are in demand as always. So it's not a surprising things and all, because obviously they need the chance, right? So in addition, there are many other fields like mathematics, physics, economics, or any other education as all background by employees are also preferred. Okay. So we know that for searching the jobs in the field of Python, you don't need any IT background and all. But the specialization who is having the computer science or IT background itself, they are always in demand as always, and it's not changing; it's constant. But if you are in other specialization also, it's taken into consideration, and also you are they are looking like according to the companies they are looking the bachelor's or master's or PhD. So we can say that every companies are looking that. So it is just a research thing that even though they are looking PhD or masters, according to that you will be getting the salary or the job roles and all. So we can't say exactly. It depends on the company requirements. So 50% you are okay with your bachelor's. Yeah, like companies are okay with your bachelor's. So that's all about the education and education specialization you need. And talking about next, that is skills. So moving on to the next or moving on to the most important part, that is skills. What other programming language are listed as desirable in job offers? Okay, along with Python, that is, you can see that for developing the web applications, which skill you need or which framework skill you need. So we know that HTML and CSS are mentioned in the highest number of job description along with Python programming language, which makes perfect sense as they play a very important role when building web applications. So on the other hand, Python on web frameworks like Django and Flask. So also stand out as some of the key web technologies Python job seekers would need on the job. So this HTML and CSS are common for developing the web application, whether it is Python or Java, any other language, right? But Python itself, like they are having all frameworks like Django, Flask, right? So we know that Django is the most people are go with Django frameworks. We can say that Flask is not used, but majority of the people are using the Django frameworks. So you need at least the knowledge or skill on any of the frameworks which on by the Python program. That is, you should be having the skill of Django as well as HTML and CSS. So that's all about the skills you need for web technologies for creating the web applications. We came to last agenda of this session, that is research experience. Most companies desire candidates with at least 2 to 3 years of experience. However, the greater part of the job offers in the sample are suitable for candidates with at least 5 years of experience. So keep that in mind and make sure you constantly upgrade your skill set and work on relevant tasks and projects to stay competitive. So according to the experience and the skills you are having, it's your chance of improving your job roles or chances of improving your payment is according to your experience and skill you are having. So you have to update your skill set according to the trend which is having in the market. So it's not like after pursuing Python and any of the frameworks which is on by the Python, after that, like if you are entered to any other company and it's okay and you are okay with that, it's not like that. According to the trend, you have to do the task. So you have to keep on upgrading your skills. So you have to make sure that you have to increase your or upgrade your skill set, and you have to do the task or you have to do the project to stay competitive. So that's all about the experience you need. And so let me conclude this session. That is, Python is one of the fastest growing programming languages out there and is expected to gain additional popularity in the near future. So the main job roles you can apply for with Python are, as I already told you, like software engineer, data scientist, data analyst, machine learning engineer, full stack developer, and so on. I hope you find this session useful in setting your career goals and starting your job search successfully. So with this, we have come to the end of the session. If you have any query related to this session, please free to us. So in case you wish to get in contact with us, take a look at the things that we can do for you. Then please give us a call at the numbers that I have mentioned on the screen. So thank you all.